Hey, what's up, Slackers? Welcome back live and in color. Host Lawrence of the SlackerCast, just Lawrence. No Gregory today. He's got his own thing coming, so you'll be able to see more of him. But let's get into today's topic. As you can see from the description, it is the fat man on Batman is getting bat-panned. We're going to figure out why that is and delve into some of the controversy that's going on with that. But I want to thank everyone for joining. All those who joined last week, left comments, helped out the channel, sent likes. Really helps the channel grow. And to send this out to more people. You know, when you hit the like button, it kind of spreads, gets our name out there, gets our brand out there. And we do appreciate it. All our Patreon supporters, we want to thank you as well. You know, there's like 5 or 6 of y'all out there. Thank you for helping us. We started this like 2 months ago, so we're doing pretty good, I think. We're up to 163 subscribers. And I want to thank each and every one of you for your support, tuning in every week, seeing the lists. And let's go ahead and jump in. Before we start, though, one of our subscribers requested that I do another trailer reaction. So back by popular demand, a first-time viewing reaction for a film trailer. It's The Lady of Heaven, which I hope isn't porn or anything, because I have no clue what this is. But I'm going to share it and see what we think before we jump into today's program. I'm talking like an old man. I talk like this is news from 1962. I'm sorry. Program and live and in color and all that. So anyhow, let's go ahead and jump in this. I'm going to share it. I didn't share audio last time with the Batman thing, and people were mad at me for that. So I'm going to try not to make the same mistake. Can y'all see that? All right, let's jump into this. See what we got going on.
The world
The Lady of Heaven.
As a group of terrorists has taken control of large areas of Syria and Iraq.
The world can be a cruel and dangerous place. Remember, even if you're afraid, be strong. Your loving mother, Fatima.
Okay.
Did you
Enlightened Kingdom? I haven't heard of that before.
Of the Lady of Heaven. She was very special. Daughter to the Prophet Muhammad.
My time is near. Fatima, you will face many trials.
With my father. are no longer here to lead us. Evil is with those who will extinguish the light of truth.
You're gonna let a woman tell us what to do. We'll burn her.
This might have made Sword and Sandals list last night. A lot of that going on.
This world has become
Definitely some swords and some sandals.
The shadow will be cast across many generations to come.
It said some people are so full of faith. They give strength to everyone around them.
The greatest thing in this life and the hereafter is the spreading of peace in the world.
Lady Fatima's goodness inspired people to stand up, no matter what the cost. Her legacy lives on.
Lady of Heaven. What do I think? Let's get into that. Coming soon. So there's no release date yet. 2021 is almost over, guys. So let's see. It's interesting, man. It's un-Batman related, but I guess that's okay. All right, let me stop sharing that. All right. So that was viewed, that was watched. And if any of you guys have suggestions of things you want to see me react to, go ahead and send that in the comments. You know, I like hearing from you guys. It took a lot out of me, man. There's a lot of energy drained me. I don't know if I'm prepared for that trip. It seems a little intense. But let's go ahead and crack on into it. So Kevin Smith's landed in some hot water. What did he do? Well, according to a couple articles, he's just now inherited He-Man, Masters of the Universe. And you guys grew up in the 80s, the toy line from Mattel. Well, know that basically it was a big deal. So a lot of people grew up with this, a lot of fans. I myself didn't. What's my investment in He-Man? I remember the cartoon. They rebooted it in 2005. But it was, no one really talked about it, man. It was kind of under the radar. It had its little time in the sun, but it was way before his costume, man. I never could dig that whole, and it's weird because I love sword and sandal movies, but that was doing a little extra. The leather straps and all that stuff. It just kind of wasn't for me, but I can understand. Get into it. I remember him being buff and stuff and being jacked, and that was always cool. So getting into it, we're going to see what Kevin Smith has done to it now that he's gotten his hands on it. So open this up. And this man needs no introduction. Kevin Smith. Clerks movies, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Dazed and Confused, if I'm not mistaken, is the guy that was like, check your laters. Hopefully it's the same link later. But yeah, he got inspired by seeing that, made Clerks, basically, is the rundown. That's how he got his jump start. From there, he's pretty much taken over all of geekdom as far as Hollywood is concerned. He's like your go-to nerd guy. With that said, with his track record as of late, would I trust him with any? I don't see. Kevin Smith's dabbled in comics. I feel like he's got his tentacles in there. You know, he definitely talks the talk, you know. But Hollywood changes people, man. Money changes people. Success changes people. He may not be the same Kevin Smith that walked in '99 or '98, whenever Clerks 1 was made. It may not be the same man today. This article basically goes on to say that he saw Akira back in the '80s, and from there inspired him to do the Masters of the Universe. Basically, it's saying that he's got a love of cartoons from this, that this was his start. But he himself, his article goes on to say, was not a fan. He was in the same boat as me. Masters in the Universe kind of escaped him and escaped me. So we just kind of have a passing interest in it. But nonetheless, he's gotten his hands on it, basically. He's now become the guy that's in charge of the Netflix series. And it is on Netflix now. If y'all hadn't seen it yet, go and check it out, I guess. I'd like to hear your thoughts on it, kind of get your own perspective. But moving forward, he's gone on to say that we may be the problem. You know, people tuned in, viewed it, tried to enjoy it, couldn't. But that may not be his fault. That may be our fault. So we're going to try to figure out what that's about. Kevin Smith has a message for angry He-Man fans. He says, grow the F up. Grow the fuck up. Kevin Smith, the mind behind the new He-Man series on Netflix, has some harsh words for the angriest of the critics of the new show. This is just a way of gaslighting you, by the way. The angriest of critics. You're angry because you had something to say about something you liked. And that's something we're going to learn about as this show goes. As we kind of delve into these articles, we'll start to notice a few things. What's to say? What makes these people angry? What have they said? Because the only person who has cursed so far was Kevin Smith. But, you know, Twitter is a big place. So there's a lot of baddies running around on there saying a few things, popping off at the mouth. So he probably caught his fair share of criticisms. Let's see. Kevin Smith has lost his patience with a certain group of He-Man fans who are angry over the big twist in Masters of the Universe Revelation Part 1. Spoiler alert, guys. It says it right here. Warning, this article contains many spoilers. So if you want to check the series out first, then come back and check this out later, you definitely can. The writer-director developed a new He-Man series for Netflix based on the idea of continuing the story of the original series. So not a reboot. It's a sequel. It's a sequel. I don't know where I was going with that. But basically, how does this go? Because we've seen that so many times before. Has that worked yet? Ghostbusters failed. Star Wars failed. This now wants to be a sequel. When is it going to be time for them to start winning? I want to start listing some sequels that did work, that when we came back to them, you know, after so many years being away, they hit the nail on the head and were better than the original. I hadn't seen that in a long, long time. So let's see. However, adult audiences who remember the original series from their childhood have issued harsh criticism and even taken to review bombing to bring Part 1's Rotten Tomatoes audience score down. Review bombing. That's another, keep in mind what that means. Like, review bombing is anything that goes against their guy, their girls, whoever they're supporting movies, like rating. Like, if they support the movie and it's getting rated down, oh, it's getting review bombed. It's not getting criticized or anything like that. It's not anything that's intelligent. It's just you're hacking into the system and messing it up deliberately without having a mind of your own to make up your own opinion about something. You can't do that. Only they can. Smith explained to Variety that he was convinced to even do the series by being told by Netflix's director of original series, Ted Biaselli, I yearned to watch the show I thought I was watching in childhood. That's what I'm looking for here. The same show, but people can die. Could they not die in the originals? Was that a thing? People just didn't die back then? Kevin Smith responds, "That's the only thing I can do." However, the big twist in the new series is that He-Man, see, spoilers, guys. Huge spoilers. However, the big twist in the new series is that He-Man and Skeletor are seemingly killed in battle with each other in the very first episode. All right, let's stop and pause and think about that for a moment. So, and keep in mind, this doesn't have the He-Man name in the title. That was already the big dead giveaway that something was wrong. It was called Masters of the Universe Revelations. Nowhere in that is He-Man, is he listed in there. I wonder why. But okay, you get people jazzed up about He-Man, right? And then he's not even going to be in it. That sounds very similar. And as we get into this, you'll see what I'm talking about. To a certain Mad Max Fury Road, where, you know, it was essentially Imperator Furiosa's movie. It wasn't, Mad Max was in it, you know, but she completely took over that movie. And I love that movie. It's not, I don't think it's bad. It's not one of those things where I'm criticizing it because of that. It's just a fact. However, the big twist is, of course, Skeletor and He-Man will not be in it. They killed each other in the first battle. So what are we watching then? Who's in it? Okay, let's see. It's going to end up forcing the other heroes, the other ones, to be alone, with Teela being forced to take a more central role in He-Man's temporary absence. This has led to a number of fans angrily calling this new series a bait and switch, since He-Man is mostly only in flashbacks during the series. Okay, so what was cool about that? When Kevin Smith was in the drawing board, you know, the boardroom, and they were discussing this, pitching around ideas for bringing back He-Man, going back to the 80s, bringing all that back to the fans. At what point was it cool then to say, what if He-Man's not in it? Would that be cool? Like, I don't understand the thinking and the logic behind that. You know, it'd be like doing a James Bond and saying, wouldn't it be, this is all cool, but what if James Bond's not in it? What if we can, like, I don't know, have Miss Moneypenny be the lead of the series? Like, if you're a fan of the series, a true fan, then why would you want to view that? Where's the thinking behind this? So let's continue. Smith does not take those complaints very seriously. Yes, they do. We'll get to that in a second, because why is he addressing it now? Why do we need to grow up all of a sudden? It's been interesting seeing who truly is a hardcore fan, he said, because anybody that's like, oh man, that's not enough, He-Man, or something like that, doesn't understand this show. I try to do his voice. I can't do Kevin Smith's voice. I don't have that Jersey accent. Doesn't understand the show that we based it on. There were episodes where he lost the sword and he never became He-Man. Okay, there was one episode where that happened. This is a whole series now that it looks like He-Man will not be in it. It wasn't like He-Man always saved the day. His friends helped him. That was the fucking point of the show. But the point of the show is that he was in it to be saved at least. He died in yours. So we have a bit of a problem here. And this is what I'm saying. Who is a truly a hardcore fan? He's not a truly hardcore fan of this. As we kind of went into the first article that was out there by, and I'm sorry I didn't list where I got this from, my sources. This was Gizmodo, was the one that talked about Kevin Smith's inspirations, or actually it was not. It was inverse.com. And the article just talks about how he was not really a He-Man fan. Is the point of that. You know, he kind of was too old to remember it really. You know, he was too old to get into it. But it wasn't his thing. He's more of a Star Wars, Marvel, DC guy. He-Man escaped him, like it escaped a lot of people. But so now he's saying that you're not really a fan if you have complaints. You know, more gaslighting. And then we can exit out of that and bring in the final article. This is not going to be a long stream. All right. So there's another show, as you all know. Someone got the bright idea before Kevin Smith did to do a She-Ra. I think it's Powers of Princesses or Princesses of Power. Yeah, She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. I have no clue what this is. I heard of She-Ra. I had no idea it was like the Bizarro verse in, I don't know, Professor Zoom version of He-Man. Like it was the female He-Man is what I'm taking from it. There would be those who say that She-Ra was her own thing and she was pop. I'm not saying that it's not a good show. I'm not saying anything about it. I haven't seen She-Ra. She-Ra may be the best thing out there. But I want to bring this article up for a good point, is that She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, it's allowed to, and we're going to get into this article, man, but imagine if they took She-Ra out, right? They made a She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, and she's killed off in the first episode. It doesn't have She-Ra in it at all. It has somebody else in it. Dude man or something, you know what I'm saying? And he's just this buff, broly looking dude, and it's about him. And we just see flashbacks and dreams and shit of She-Ra coming in every once in a while, like a Force ghost or something. You'd be a little bit confused, wouldn't you? Delving into this, this isn't worth getting into. This is just basically saying, will She-Ra fans enjoy Masters of the Universe? Yes, they'll enjoy this one because it doesn't have He-Man in it, so they win. Just in case they didn't get enough girl power and what have you, features female, what have you. This show is made for them. You know, this is their time. This is they're having a smorgasbord. They got a He-Man show without He-Man, and they got a She-Ra show with She-Ra. So it's the best of both worlds. How can it get any better? You know. But this is the state of where we are today. This is what's going on. Just trying to keep y'all aware. Now, enjoy y'all's input, man. A lot of other guys have discussed this already. You can find them on YouTube as well. But it's just something I wanted to touch base with y'all, let y'all know. This is not going to be a long live stream. These live streams are really just meant to be like 5-10 minutes long, 15 minutes long, 30 minutes long at the most, just to touch on a lot of stuff going on in, I guess, geek culture, stuff like that. I guess that's it, man. I want to thank y'all for tuning in, supporting the channel, being with us. Hold on, I got comments. Kevin Smith has been pretty smug lately. Oh, Dan, what's going on? Jay Stingray, what's up, man? I had it on private chat thinking that was how I see these types of comments. I'm so sorry, guys. What's up, man? Not much. What's up, Dan? And yes, Kevin Smith is pretty smug lately about fans who are hating. But and here's the thing with Kevin, though. Kevin was like that. If you don't like his stuff, you're the problem. And he did that with Tusk. Tusk was another movie that came out. And, you know, I think Richard Roper or something was criticizing. He's like, there's no point in seeing this movie. And then Kevin was like, I'm going to start charging critics, because that's their job. A critic's job is to watch the movie. Imagine you go to clean a toilet, you're a janitor, and you have to pay to clean the toilet. That wouldn't make any sense. So critics get into movies for free, I believe. I think if they have the press pass, they're kind of like treated like members of the press. And he told them, like, for now on, I'm going to charge you to watch my movie so that you can do your job and criticize it. And then Richard was like, no, this is my job. Like, I have to do this. And he's like, if you did do that, then we really would hate your movie. Because that's, you know what I mean? But Kevin Smith is, I told you, man, Hollywood changes people, money changes people, power changes people. He's not the same man he was in Clerks 1. It's just those days are gone. He's out of touch. He's lost it. He's lost base with a lot of us, man, on ground level. It happens to the best of us. But, and yes, Dan, the new He-Man with no He-Man. What's next, man? How did it ever get this bad? How did we ever reach this point, man? I don't know. But leave down in the comments what you think of this whole situation. Did Kevin Smith turn heel? You bet he did. But that happened a long time ago. he had his Hulk Hogan moment where he joined NWO, but he joined Hollywood. That's his version of it. Hey, what's up, Jamie? I'm wrapping up now. This is just talking about the new He-Man Masters of the Universe with no He-Man on Netflix. Have you seen it? What do you think? And if you guys want to check out more of our content, we got some shows coming up next week. Tuesday, I believe, is another list. It's going to be that's somebody else's list, so I don't remember. But I think it's going to be, trying to think, athletes, top 10 athletes. So all you sports fans out there, tune in for that. Hit the subscribe button. Please like. Tell your friends about us. I want a special thanks to everyone who joined us tonight. Dan, Jamie, Jay the Stingray. Thank you so much. And anybody else comes on. Kevin Smith ruined He-Man. Yeah. It's what it looks like he's doing. But it's not his fault. He's blaming fans. It was us. We did it. We did it to ourselves. We have no one to blame but ourselves for this one. But I want to thank you guys for joining. Kevin Smith killed He-Man that day. Yeah. He-Man will be back. You know what I mean? Like, he died how many times before? Like, how many times has this show run out, come back, been rebooted, relived? We'll make it through it, guys. But until next time, slack off.